everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, just welcome. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys today. It's something that has been on my mind to go ahead and film. I'm gonna get ready for my day. It is pretty late in the afternoon. Also, I was being a little lazy today, but I got some things accomplished, like as far as my hair goes, because I was not the cutest this morning. But today we're going to talk about mental health. My name is Tony, and wow, I'm not going to be emotional. I'm going to try my hardest not to be emotional, but my name is Tony, and I do suffer from major depression. So we're going to get started. Just pretty want to talk about, like, I guess I'm going to go ahead and unpack on you guys. If I'm looking off, it's because I'm trying to get into the camera and then also trying to focus and see what I'm doing to my face. So we're going to do a quick little, get ready with me, because I am an advocate for, if you look good, you even feel, more, even better. So we're going to just hop right in and get started. I did my eyebrows off camera just to save time, because I knew that I was going to talk a lot in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. And I have my stuff like all out on my bed. Like, I seriously have to get organized. This is not the business. So I already did some skincare, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. I'm gonna do the Farsali, excuse me, I burped, I was drinking water. I'm gonna do the Farsali Quench Moisture Replenishing Serum. I love this stuff. Feels awesome on my skin. Get this out the way. Click. Next, I am going to go in with my Hourglass. This is one of my favorites. It's a primer serum, the base serum. It puts me in the mind of that photo finish that I think that was by Sephora, but I love this stuff. So we're gonna go in with that. So I didn't write any notes down to keep me on track or any talking points. I just kind of wanted to talk, off the dome and be very open and honest about, what it means and what it feels to be dealing with depression. I know a lot of people will say that, what we think depression looks like, that's typically not what it is. A lot of people that suffer from depression, it's more so, like an inner battle going on. For example, a lot of times every day it's a fight for me to even get out the bed. It's a mental battle for me to just want to function as a normal person. It's like a conversation with yourself, going back and forth in your brain, if that makes sense. But a lot of people think, maybe, now everybody's depression is different. So let me not say that I'm not an expert, I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but people tend to look at people who typically looks, quote unquote, I guess, sad or depressed or whatever as a determining factor of them being depressed or not. But it's people like me every day that, might seem to look normal. And it's just, people don't understand that it is a constant battle internally within yourself. So I got that primer on. I'm gonna start with my eyes. I'm not gonna do anything too fancy. I like natural looks because I like to look like me. Yes, I do love watching makeup with the, I guess, the far out looks or whatever, but that's just not me. So I'm gonna go in with a darker crease color. And forgive me if it might seem like I ramble a little bit. I'm going to use my Butter London. Well, first, let me go in. I like to build up my crease. So I'm going to use my bronzer. It is the Sun Power Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC. It's in this tone. And so I will build my crease off of that color. I love it. So, and I didn't prime my eyes or anything. Like I said, I wanted to look very natural today. Nothing too major. But like I was saying, it is like a constant battle within yourself, within your head, as far as like just the simple things, getting out the bed, me, I will literally disconnect from the world and I can lay in bed literally all day if I allow myself. It gets to the point where sometimes it seems like life is just too taxing, like it's just too much to prep and go and face the world. Like it's a lot. And then you get out in the world, and like the type of job that I do have a normal 9 to 5 job. Like I listen to people's problems all day and I'm trying to get assistance. And not only that, like I am a, sounding board for a lot of family members and friends. And like sometimes like you have to disconnect. Like that is the main thing. It's not I have to, it's kind of a bad thing, but for me, that's how I decompress. Like I have to disconnect from people around me and also, feel safe to let them know like, hey, right now today it is not okay to unload on me, because with my depression, I do also carry the weight of other people. It's just something that I naturally do because I'm an empath, or however you say that. But I'm gonna go in with my Butter London Natural Goddess palette, and I'm gonna use Temptress, which is this super dark color right here to deepen my crease a little bit more. But I'm gonna just start from the beginning. So this is not like a shot at like my childhood or my upbringing or my parents, but as I have been going to counseling and talking to, my providers, whatever, just speaking it out, it does stem from your childhood. I feel like I was not raised to handle stress very well. Um, Typically, the adults around me, when they were dealing with things that were stressful, they would lash out. That was how I was taught to manage, because you can teach a child one thing verbally, but they always go by what they see and what they view within the home. So that was something that I did pick up on, is that not only just me, a lot of women in my family just were not brought up to handle stress very well. So I know that's like something that I had to fix, because it was beginning to affect like a lot of relationships. Like I wouldn't argue or yell with people, but sometimes like coming to me, let's for example, I am divorced, but this was not a reason why I divorced. But I have a way of kind of, it comes off as being nonchalant, but it's really just me checking out just to save myself from saying something that I might regret when it's like an argument or something serious going on. But that's not okay, because it's kind of making people believe that, hey, she probably just really don't care. And that's not the case. It's just that I wasn't raised with those coping mechanisms to handle stress. So I am a parent, I'm a mother of four, I have 3 boys and 1 girl. And I do raise them at this point to always tell me or speak out. Like if they're feeling some type of way, if they wanted to express like an emotion or feeling, just, go ahead and tell me, because that's not how I was raised. Like pretty much raised as, lashing out or, hey, stay in the child's place. And as a kid, like that kind of conditions you to just remain silent about a lot of things. Like we do typically forget as parents, and I am also guilty of this. Pretty much ignoring not, I'm not gonna say ignoring, but kind of forgetting the fact that our children are human beings too, and they do deal with emotions and things that they suffer from the day-to-day basis, and we kind of like overshadow that because we're too busy caught up in our own drama and our own mess. And like I said, I am, definitely guilty of that factor, but we have to give our kids those, coping mechanisms so that they can be, viable adults, because I don't want that to be a generational curse that I pass down to my children and later on grandchildren. I don't want that to be a part of my legacy. So what I did is, okay, first of all, let's just go into, I guess, recognizing. So my thing is, okay, like I said, people typically think about, when you think about depression, is, oh, I don't feel like I'm pretty, or oh, I don't feel like this and that and other. Mine personally, I'm gonna be completely honest and open in this video. Mine comes from the fact that sometimes I'm my own worst critic. I am my biggest critic. Everybody around me can be telling me like I'm doing great, you know, on paper I'm doing great, but eternally I feel like, no, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And that will, it's like a, I can't even describe it. It is like a straight up battle, like mentally, like on myself. It's so taxing. And I can get into these fits where it's like, it lasts for months, weeks, and I'm like kind of battling against myself. I tend to, this is where I mess up at before I decided to just, let's go talk to a provider. That's another thing. Do not be afraid to talk to your primary care physician, your PCP, a therapist. Do not be afraid of that help, because in the Black community, that is a big thing. We kind of stem away from mental health, but it's very important that we reach out and take on, or I'm sorry, just grab onto those resources that are available to us, because a lot of us are walking around with disorders that are not diagnosed, and it just, in the end, it just leaves you just kind of feeling like really crazy and ignored. But anyways, so like I said, like I will have like these battles in my head. So it's pretty much like I will start to work more. I will overcompensate. I will take on hours and hours at work, or anything to make me feel better, because I'm like, no, I'm 36 years old. I'm supposed to have this. I'm supposed to be here, instead of just being thankful for just being where I am now. Because there was a time where I was praying just to be in the positions that I am now. So but I wouldn't focus on that. My main thing is, no, I'm not where I want to be. And that would beat me up. I will allow it to beat me up. As a matter of fact, that is what I'm going through as of now, is just pretty much feeling like I haven't done enough to set my kids up for their future, or haven't done enough or set my own self up for my future. I just feel like I'm lacking thereof. So that's where my depression comes from. And I'm the past few weeks, I hit rock bottom. Like I was very emotional. Like I am very emotional, which that's typically not my character. Just down on myself. I love makeup, I love fashion, I love doing things like to make myself look good and feel good. And that's where I'll check out at. Like the things that you're passionate about, you would typically lose focus or lose interest in even like doing those things or pursuing certain things. So that's where mine, and that's when I start to realize, okay, I need to talk to somebody. Now there were some other personal things going on. Like I said, I just recently got divorced, and that was another thing. I've been divorced before, so it's kind of like you're at this space in your life where you feel like, man, is it me? Like, what's wrong with me? Like that I can't, I guess, could maintain a stable relationship. And I have to, remember like, hey, there's a reason why that didn't work out. Like, it's not like I'm not blaming the other party for everything, but I do know and I do recognize when something's not good for me, and I do like back away. But at the same time, just because it's like, I understand that that situation was not what's best for me, especially like with my mental state, and I needed to get out of that situation. Although I do clearly understand, that's the thing about depression, it's so deceiving, because I understand that, and I still feel like, damn, what did I do? I did something wrong again. And it started to make you feel kind of like, you're losing faith in yourself. Like you're not trusting your own decisions, because you know, it's kind of like, damn, everybody around me is still married. Their things are lasting. Their careers are thriving. They're getting this, they're doing that. And I'm still stuck. Like, I feel stuck, even though I progressed over the last few years. Like, I have this feeling of being stuck. Like, I'm not getting anywhere anytime soon. And that just puts me back in that mind state of I'm not good enough. And it's not good enough for anybody else. It's my own personal feelings towards myself. And like I said, it just makes me just kind of just want to check out on everything. And when I say check out, like I don't consider like suicide. And if you are, please seek help like as soon as possible. Like, that is not a light thing to play with. But I check out, like I said, staying in bed all day, don't want to do anything. Sometimes even missing events like with my children and with the family. Like, I just don't want to be seen. I just want to low key disappear, like really, really disappear. So I'm gonna move in closer. It's like really, really, really faint what I do with my eyes. Like I said, I am not big on a lot of makeup, especially on the eyes. I'm older and it's cute on certain people, but on me, I just don't like it. So we're gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna pop some lashes on. I'll be right back. Okay, I just popped some very natural looking lashes on. Nothing too big, nothing too major. And we're gonna move right into skin. And I'm gonna start with my NYX Can't Stop One Stop Concealer. It's closer to my skin tone. I do always start off with this, kind of do some light color correcting, but you know, not too much. But like I was saying, if I can get back to, you know, what I was talking about, is that, like I said, everybody who's dealing with depression, they don't look like it, what you typically look like. I read a post a few months back that depression looks like, you know, us being happy, us, you know, looking like we got it all together. And what people don't understand is like that is a coping mechanism for someone who's dealing with depression. It is a fight to do that. It is so, like, some days I fake so much. Like, by the time I get home, like, I'm over it. I'm so drained. I'm so tired. Like, I can't take it anymore. Like, I can come home, shower, eat, and then, you know, pass out. Or another thing, like sometimes, you know, you don't eat. It's like just different things that you typically face. It's like it's not always the same thing when you're going through depression. Let me just say that. And a lot of times it's not even like the same triggers. But speaking of triggers, let's just on that for a quick second here. I'm just gonna go in on that. Sometimes, like dealing with certain people who remind you, like for example, relationships, who remind you of someone that you had to pretty much work through to get over in your past. Like a lot of times, like recognizing different little traits in a new relationship, you know, that can also trigger for you to, you know, kind of go into that same mind state that you had when you were dealing with, you know, I hate to use the word toxic because I feel like it's thrown around so much, but you know, that toxic situation that you have to fight your way to get out of, which I know a lot of people have, especially if you're an adult and had a relationship at some point in your life. So that is another thing. Like I am learning to be very cautious and selective of people who I spend my time with, because I do realize, like, you know, for example, when I get into relationships, I typically let go of things that I want to pursue for myself, or like certain little goals that I have set for myself. And I just want to make sure that that person is okay. So I've learned that that does definitely trigger my depression, especially if mine is coming from the state of, you know, not being where I need to be. Well, Tony, you can't get there if you keep allowing relationships to be the thing that holds you back. So I had to realize, like, if that's not okay, like if a person that I am pursuing feels like, don't remind me that I am my, not saying it's their duty, but you do want someone who encourages you to remain yourself, or be a better version of yourself. And it's hard, like when you're in a relationship, you oftentimes lose your own identity. So for someone who can be like, hey, you're not doing what you said that you want to do. Like, what about, like, my thing is like the whole YouTube thing. I've been wanting to start this for years, but I did allow relationships to kind of like hold me back, because I didn't want anyone to feel like I was putting something over them, or I didn't want anyone to feel like, I'm thriving off of attention, because that's not the case. I just really feel like I can be placed on a platform to help a lot of women. And that is my ultimate goal, is that I want to be a sounding board for a lot of different types of women. So I learned that if somebody is pushing me away from my goals, then typically I don't need to deal with them. That's just not, the place that I need to be. And I speak up. Sorry, I'm trying to get this foundation out. I speak up, and I back away from that situation. It's not going to serve me any purpose, and it's definitely not going to help, me with my mental state when I am dealing with things. I guess I'm out of this. Oh no. Baby girl. Okay. I mean, don't be in there. That's fine. So, this is kind of too dark. I'm going to use my Fenty instead. Sometimes it's a little too warm. I am not, my coloring set in for the summer. We in spring, summer right now, but right today, for whatever reason, it's super windy. I had every intention of getting out the house and getting pics, but that ain't gonna serve me no purpose. So let's go in with my foundation. So like I was saying, I just typically I'm learning. Now it's still a work in progress, but I am learning to steer away from people who don't encourage me to keep pursuing my goals. And like I said, it's not their job, but it is, like, that is something that I'm learning, that in relationships, and it can be friendships, you know, friendships, relationships, whatever. Like, if they're not pushing you to be a better version of yourself, then, like, why keep connecting yourself with them, if that makes sense? So I had to recognize that a lot, and it happens very early, Now some of us do get caught up in things, because, like, with depression, and not only depression, like I suffer from anxiety as well, but you sometimes feel like, okay, well, they're loving me through this, state, and they're still here, but a lot of times people out here, like, they like to see you down. They thrive off the fact of knowing that you might, quote unquote, need them when you don't. But that's how your mindset is when you are in this funk. It's kind of like, I need somebody just to be there with me. And so you have to be cautious of that, because people can, thrive off of that. And then that tends to fester, like more underlying issues that you can't seem to get your way out of. So it is, like, very important that you do also watch who you attach yourself to when you are dealing with this, mental impairment. I hate saying disorder too. But, like, with this mental impairment. But yeah, like I was saying, it's just very important just to be, like, really cognitive of things that you let kind of feed into that terrible emotional state. Because if, like, I can recognize that the fact, like, for instance, for me, is, okay, I'm not where I want to be, when it comes to, like, not so much as, like, a career, but with my whole thing with my social media presence. It's funny how that is, I know that, I can mentally process that, and I recognize that. But that is the thing that I run away from. It's like, oh no, I'm not ready. Oh, I don't have all this special equipment. Oh no, like I talk myself out of it. And then it's like I'll do a video, get a great response, and I go back into hiding. It's like I know that if I want to be good at something, then it takes that work. It takes that, that patience. It takes, because some days your numbers might not be what you think they should, and then some days they go skyrocket out of nowhere. It's just, I know, like, in order to be great, you have to be consistent with something, and with this mindset, it's hard. Like it's very hard. Like I said, I can literally have a whole conversation back and forth with myself in my head, talking me out of pursuing certain things. It's wild. It's very wild. I'm not gonna say crazy, but it's very wild to know that and recognize that. Even me saying it right now out loud is kind of like, wow, Tony, please get on your shit. Excuse my language, but I need to get on my shit. And yeah. Now I'm rambling. Now I feel like I'm rambling, but we gonna keep it moving. So now I'm going in. I done so much. I didn't list any. I didn't say any products, but I'm using my Warm Sand, a goodie, an older baby goodie from Born This Way by Too Faced. And then I'm gonna go in with an even older one, LA Girl, to to contour. But yeah, like I will mentally know, and even if it's just not like with social media, it could be like with your school, it could be anything like that that you know that you want to pursue and work on. But it's kind of like with the things that you're dealing with mentally will talk you out of that if you're not careful. So I have to kind of know, like, okay, that's just that, I call it that phantom voice. And I'm not going to feed that phantom voice. I'm going to do exactly what I need to do today. And, and it doesn't work all the time. It's still a battle. But sometimes it definitely pushes me to, okay, Tony, let's get to it, Like, even with filming this today, I've been wanting to do this video for the past 2 weeks. But it's gotten to the point where it's been very taxing this time around. I would say this is the worst episode that I have, if I can be honest, dealing with depression. I can be very open about that. It is. What I did this time around, like I said, I have done counseling before in the past, but I just went to my primary care physician to speak to her about how I was feeling. And this time, I did opt for the meds. And I know that's not the first thing that a lot of people tend to want to do because of all the stigmas that you have towards, being told about taking medication. And no, they don't put you on it for a long-term period of time unless it's, absolutely necessary. But she just told me, like, I love my, I go to an APRN, so she's a nurse practitioner, not a doctor. But she told me the way that it kind of like helped me with even, dealing with filming today. She was like, Tony, this is just a season. And when I feel myself, like, here in the past few weeks kind of get into that funk, I tell myself that, Tony, this is just a season. Like, you're going to get through it. It's not going to be a long-term thing. Let's just keep fighting to get through it. And that has really, really, really helped me. Like, she listened to me. She didn't make me feel judged. She didn't, make me feel like I'm crazy. Like, you need people like that. And so if your idea is like to get in healthcare, if you're not an understanding, loving person, don't do it, because you could be the determining factor on if somebody prevails when it comes to their mental health or if they fail miserably, and I really appreciate her for saying it to me like that, because It is just a season. Like I said, it comes and it goes. Sometimes, I can go a little while without, feeling any type of way. And then some days it's like, sometimes you can go, like I said, this time it's been a few months. It really has been. And it's just a fight. It's just really a fight to get back to me, to get back to feeling like, okay, Tony, it's okay. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Work off your own timeline. Like, social media is like the biggest smoke and mirror, ever. People don't show you, the bad that they deal with. They always report on the good, which is okay because I mean, honestly, I'm the same way. I'm not going to always report on, or I really don't ever really report on anything private or the bad. I just, take a picture here and there, shoot a video, okay, whatever, boom. And sometimes I think people need to, hear that, okay, maybe today is not a good day for me. Maybe, okay, or not maybe, today is not a good day for me. I am dealing with something, that, requires my attention, and it requires me to kind of disconnect from people for a while. And you know what? Being open about that to my family and also like my friends, they're very understanding. Like, they understand, like, okay, if Tony don't answer the phone, okay, either she's busy, or for like, if I'll let them know like what I'm dealing with currently, if I am like in a funk, and they'll typically like, okay, let me just give her time to process. She'll reach out when she's ready to reach out, which is pretty much how my personality is. Like, I will come to you, pretty much when I'm ready. I'm not the type to kind of, cling to like a person when I am dealing with something, or, going through this. I just kind of want to like, let me process my own emotions first, and then I will get to a point like, okay, you know what? Let me go talk to somebody. So, yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you need that space to kind of basically check out, it's okay to let somebody know, like, hey, today I can't. And that's like the one thing that I do say. I'm like, I can't today. I'm sorry. I absolutely can't. And and it's okay. Like, you have to be okay with saying no. I know, like me, like I said, I'm an empath, so it's hard for me to tell people no. Even like when they come to like I said, I feel like, okay, maybe I am that only person that person has that day to unload on, so let me hear it. But then, like I said, like, I be trying to fix their problems, and then it comes to this whole big thing mentally that kind of like shuts me down, and now I'm drained mentally, and now I can't even fix my own issues. So I had to learn to be like, hey, right now, today, can't do it. Not a good day. So let me get this console where I need to be. Let's give a clap for on the plus side. On the plus side, let's give a big clap because, honey, my skin is thriving today. I was thinking about doing a skincare video too. So if that's something that you want to see, or any content that you want to see, just please let me know. You can just leave a comment below. I want to do so much on this channel, and I am so ready to just go full force and do what I know I'm passionate about. Like, this is my passion, honestly. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bulk the camera, but I gotta see what I'm doing, girl. Okay, so we're gonna go in and set all those liquids that we put on with some powder. She's coming alive. I'm gonna do my Laura Mercier. Staple in the game. Been a staple for some years now. No need to give all the details on that. If you girls know, if you know, you know. For the ones who get it, get it. So I'm going to set that under eye, and I don't really bake first. I set it. Very lightly. All the places that I highlighted first, I'm going to set all of that. We're going to clean it up. Don't worry about that. Go a little bit under here. It's really too much on this side, but there we go. See, I'm really pressing those powders in. And then I'm gonna go under, because we're gonna do some under eye stuff as well. Now I'm gonna go in with my Sun Power. No, that's something different. Where'd I put it? Sun Power mineralized skin finish. And another angled brush. And set that contour a little bit. It gives me a warmth to my face. Like, I hate to just go in with a dark contour because, come on now, we want to look as natural as possible. With the season, I like to look sun-kissed, so I always go in with, this has more of a red undertone to it, which I love. And I will set my contour with that first, because you want it to look skin-like. Your skin, it has lots of different dimensions to it. So that's why I like to do that. Okay. And then I'll also do that with my nose. Lord, I'm throwing brushes. We're gonna let that go. I'll get that in a minute because it went under the bed, sweetie. Okay, so sides of my nose. I'm gonna take a little bit and go right under. Using the same product, the Sun Power Mineralized Skin Finish. Just like I did my crease in my eye. I'm gonna do it at the bottom as well. I'll smoke it out just a little bit. Go back in with that palette and color Temptress. And then smoke it out even a little bit more. Let me bring it down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And that's why I have that powder still sitting there to catch anything that falls out. Look, so sultry, right? Well, if this was night, I would also use like a black gel liner to make it even more smokier. But girl, we still in the middle of the day. I mean, I will do it, but I ain't gonna do it. Okay. So We love that. Also, I do take my highlighter and my Cover FX. I love this contour palette. It's a medium deep. And I'm going to take this right here and use it as my inner eye corner to open my eyes up even more. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go spruce myself up, do something to my hair, and I'll be right back with the closing remarks. Just want to say thank you for allowing me to unpack on you guys and spending this time with me today. Just get to know me, a little bit better. This is how the look turned out. I just popped, some lazy curls in my hair, some little bit of edge control so I can look more put together. But again, guys, thank you so much for allowing me to use this platform just to speak to so many of you guys who are dealing with this. Again, if you are someone out here that is facing, depression or any type of mental health disorder, just make sure that you seek the proper resources, where it's a therapist or your primary care physician or even just a family member or friend. Talk about it, let it out, and don't be ashamed of that. I mean, you might have a disorder, but a disorder does not have you. So again, just like, comment, subscribe, share, leave comments. If you want to see any other type of content on this page, just let me know. And until next time, you guys, stay well.